let's now look at the Helm charts in Kubernetes. So the challenges in Kubernetes, particularly when we use YAML file. So deploying applications in Kubernetes, the powerful popular container orchestration can be complex. So setting up a single application can involve multiple interdependent Kubernetes resources such as pods, services, deployment, replica sets. So, and each one probably you can have in a single file, YAML file, which is called as a manifest file. All this pods, services, deployment, replica set, you have it. But when we change it, yes, there is going to be challenges. You need to really test it out before deploying. So any changes in the YAML file, then it's going to be a challenge. And particularly when there are complex application, the YAML file could be really lengthy and long, which can add to the confusion. So in the recent years, to overcome this, it's where we have stepped in. I mean, the Helm, it's called Helm charts. The Helm chart is now looked at as a solution. Particularly, you don't need to really bother about the YAML files for Kubernetes. Helms take care of it. So in that case, it needs to package all the YAML files. So it's basically a package manager for Kubernetes. So similar to YAM, it's when you want to install in CentOS, you do a YAM on CentOS and apt-get in Ubuntu for doing any kind of an installation. So it's a kind of way to bundle Kubernetes objects, probably all the YAML files, interdependent files into a single unit that can publish, deploy, version, service, update. So it can do all. That's where people now start looking at using the Helm charts as the solution. So called as Helm charts, there are 100 plus charts available. I mean, now it's kind of a, kind of a Docker. You can, though you can't correlate, but you can think of it as from an analogy perspective, you can think of it as an image. So you refer the particular library and you start using it. So by the way, the advantage of using Azure Cloud Shell is Helm is already installed, so better to use it instead of trying to. I mean, if you want to do it any other system on your own system, you have a Kubernetes, then you need to perform the Helm installation as well. So with Azure, I mean particularly with the Cloud Shell, Helm CLI is already installed. So all you need to do is Helm version. You have the details like verify that, just to verify it will show as Helm 3 is installed. Here we have 3.4. So that's about it. So this is basically the repository of Helm in GitHub. If you get into the stable one, you see a lot of them, including Airflow, and you'll also find the WordPress with which I'll be demonstrating. You have a WordPress, and if you get into it, this is all the files which gets packaged when you refer it. So you have all the charts, requirement, YAML, value production, YAML. So instead of we creating, being a package manager, this is all built in and ready to use. That's how Helm chart works, and the complete package is called the Helm charts. So stay tuned. Thank you. Let us now look at a hands-on session with the Helm on the Azure Kubernetes services. You can download this reference file from the reference document in Udemy. You can download them. So we will get into the Cloud Shell. So to do that, get into the Cloud Shell. So I mean, generally the people tend to forget this command get credential, particularly when you have created a new Kubernetes service cluster. They forget to create the kind of a config file with the name and the resource group assigned. So ensure that this is done. I have already run it, but just want to ensure that the sequence is followed. I'm running it, so that's where you get says that merged. Otherwise, you have another message coming in. So the first command is this one. The next one is I showed the repository where there are hundreds. As at this point of time, it's 100 plus, and it is growing. All this chart, which means the dependent file system with YML files and others. We need to refer that. So this is the command for that. So we need to run it in the Cloud Shell. So this is already existing because I have done already. So you will have, I mean, if you're not doing it, I mean, if you're doing it for the first time, yeah, it takes time to establish the appropriate connection. The next one is to install the WordPress. So it's a kind of a package, WordPress package. So you don't need to, otherwise generally what you will do is you have to install the some maybe MySQL database and the front end. It's a longish process, particularly if you want to install WordPress on a Linux machine. The process is quite long. So in this case, it's just a single command. So let's install this. So we'll run that Helm install. Again, this is the name, hands-on. You can give any name as you wish. So I have given hands-on AKS is Azure Kubernetes Service and WordPress. So this could take some time to appropriately do the linkage. So it's complete. So two things you need to look over here. I mean, it has a front end, and if you want to, I mean, if you've worked in WordPress, WordPress has the front end, and you log into the WordPress and to create any of the pages. So it already created. So if you look at it, the service IP, and then on the service IP, you have the admin. I mean, to log in, and the user is user, and password. Yes, you need to copy this, copy, and to get the, particularly to get the password. So yeah, let's see some error. Let's see. Okay, I think I copied the dollar prompt as well, so that's the error. Yeah, so this is the password. We'll refer it once we get into the WordPress. From the front end, you can log in giving the admin URL. You can log in into the WordPress. So let's see the next command. So kubectl git service. So this is the external IP on which the WordPress is hosted. So you have the IP address, and this is the MariaDB is the DB, and you can use it with MySQL as well. But all this is done when you give the user ID and this password. That is, this one is the password. When you give that password, it will the MariaDB it gets into the MariaDB database where it checks for the password. So all this are created with just with one command of the Helm. I mean, if you look at it, so Helm install, with that just one command, you're able to have the WordPress Helm chart completely done. So we'll go into the this IP address, and you'll be able to see the front end. So here is the front end. I mean, the WordPress is up and running. You can, if you want to, that's what I said. If you have some knowledge on WordPress, so all you need to do is admin. That will bring up the user, and then you need to check the password for it, which is there in the Cloud Console. We'll get into that. So this is the password. Instead of remembering it, we'll copy paste into the login screen, WordPress login screen. So get here and paste it and log in. So we now, I mean, this is the dashboard for the WordPress. I'll not go in the details. I mean, it then become a WordPress class. So again, yeah, you can create pages. So all this you can do just like any other WordPress-based application. You can have pages, post. You can do it and save it and access it. So naturally, it's going to, the front end is going to change as well. The front end, the scenes, this is going to change as well once you create the appropriate pages. So this example, but through this example, I hope it is very clear. Like instead of having you creating the YML files for deployment, services, and so many other things, replication set, for those, instead of doing that, you can use Helm charts. And if it is particularly, it needs to be available in the repository. If it is available in the repository, then it is much easier to use Helm charts and host it on the, and have that referred in the Kubernetes. So that's about the Helm charts. Let's look at a few other commands, because status, we created Helm chart by the name hands-on, this one, status and hands-on AKWP. So you can refer the status of it. So let's check the status. This is the status. I mean, once it's when you created it, yes, you had the similar kind of an output, and status provides all the detail, name, last deployed, revisions, all this are provided with services, and then kubectl get pod. So that gives what is up and running. And finally, you can also, whatever you had created, you can also delete it if you don't want it. Helm delete, hands-on AKSWP, you can delete, and delete all PVC. That's for the volume. So you can do that as well. So that's about the Helm chart. Hope you got some clarity as how to use Helm chart in the Kubernetes service. Thank you.